Good morning. I guess it's good afternoon, I should say. It's take two because of Facebook. And when we found out, I can't totally blame Facebook. It was a little bit of my fault. So it is what it is. My name is Jade Alberts, a founder of Peer Guidance. We listen, guide, connect, and help start small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs. This is a live show. So if you do have a question, please ask. If you're watching this after the fact, put your question in there and it will be answered. I'd like to thank Community Now magazine for their support. Community Now engages, educates, and inspires us to be stronger together. I am pumped about today's guest, Jamie Soleil. She's a motivational coach and speaker. Thank you for joining me today again, Jamie. And how are you?
Take two. I'm awesome today again. How are you, Jade?
I am much better now that it's probably going on live, and I know it's live because I can see it and I know it. So we should be good.
It makes you human. It's all good. I enjoyed our interview so much, and you know what? This is just going to be better. So your viewers will be happy.
Well, exactly. I mean, not that we make a lot of mistakes, but now that we know if we did make any, we can just keep on moving on.
There you go.
I know I love talking about how we met, and you and I just kind of met online. We set up a call and we kind of connected and had a lot of things in common when it came to growing and helping people. And, here we are doing an interview. So thank you again.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. I'm honored.
Well, I'll do a brief introduction here and then we'll get after it. So Jamie is a gold medalist and world champion figure skater, but she's also a mother of two, wife, friend, and motivational life coach and advocate for people with special needs. She's always felt the need for another calling in her life. At one point, she was working with a life coach to create a vision and set goals for her future. It was an incredibly rewarding experience, and she always had a strong desire to help others, and this way she could do just that. So, I mean, I love that. And I mean, obviously you have such an incredible background of being a champion and being down, having controversy in some of your competition. But how has your life story and finally being able to figure out what you wanted to do post skating prepared you for your business?
Oh my gosh. Incredibly grateful for everything that I went through my career. Even, everybody thinks they see the end result and they think that because you have a gold medal that everything, and they know it takes work to get to be a champion, but they often don't consider the failure that came before it to get to that point, and the adversity, the perseverance that it takes, the dedication, the commitment. And so I've learned all of these incredible tools and tools to help me now moving into this next chapter of my life, incorporate into my work that I'm doing, which is helping people now using these same tools, helping them overcome challenges. Because in life, whether it's as an athlete or a profession, or even just, when I was a stay-at-home mom, I had challenges. So it doesn't really matter what we're doing. We're living, we're breathing. We're always going to have dark times, challenging times, tough days, or whatever. So the incredible experiences that I've had in my life, and most of them were failures, and I learned a lot from those failures. I became a stronger person. I became more confident. It's like anything. Once you get through those times, you look back and you go, see, like, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I can do this. And you start believing in yourself a little bit more. So that's basically what I share with my clients now, and just being really relatable to them, that I am no different than you. I have challenges too, but this is what I do to work through them. And so I call myself more of a facilitator. You said motivational coach. It's more about hearing inspiring stories, but it's not so much, here's what you need to do or you should do. Truthfully, I think we all have to stop shoulding around. Like everybody's all about should. And I'm like, yeah, you could. But no, I'm more of a facilitator. I help people come up with their own solutions. There's an answer to every question and a solution to every problem. And it's up to you to work through that. And that's what empowers people ultimately.
No, I can't agree more with what you said, and especially in today's world where what we wanted, we don't even know what we wanted, but when we find out what we want, we already needed it, and I think it's a problem in moving forward, and I think someone with the vast amount of experiences, and even when I talk to our girls and I say, you know what, we see that guy make that great skateboarding move. Well, I want to know how many times he wiped out, and someone like yourself, how many times would you have fallen that you had to pick yourself up to learn?
I believe there's a saying, and I know Thomas Edison had like up to 10,000 failures before he created light. And so they say you have to do something 10,000 times to become an expert. Um, I probably fell more than that, but it took 20 years to get from being a beginner skater to getting to the Olympics. I started skating when I was, around 4 years old, and I was at the Olympics, having a gold medal skate when I was 24, and so that was a long journey of just incredible highs, not a lot of highs. I would say a lot more lows, but again, I always talk about the person I became on that journey is actually what the gift is. The gold medal is amazing, but it doesn't define me. What defines me is the lessons that I've learned and the person that I've become through this whole process.
No, absolutely. And even before, you mentioned that a person made a comment on the LinkedIn when we made the post, and you said, and we didn't talk about this in the first interview, but I think it's a really good point.
Yes.
When Jeff made that comment, you said, because I think it's so important that a person has a mentor or has somebody that they can rely on. And I mean, that story that you told me about Jeff picking you up, I just think should be told.
100%. So Jeff Crushell and I were at the Royal Glenora Club back in the day, and he was a trainer there that was kind of just getting started, I remember, and I was in between pair partners, and I was really struggling. Like, I was really sinking into a hole deep, and I was literally having thoughts of quitting because a lot of people in figure skating had given up on me as well. And Jeff he clearly just felt like he has such passion, and he's super enthusiastic in what he does. And he was like super hungry to take me and go, I'm going to show everybody that you can do this, because I see inside of you that you really have what it takes and you want this, but you're just stuck. I was stuck in a rut, And so there's power in this. Surround yourself with people who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. So he changed my thinking, and he literally changed my body type. Like he got me, we always say, like, lean, mean, fighting machine. Like, I was super fit. I was super ready to go. He changed my life. He got me out of the gutter. And when like I said, many didn't think I was going to last, or they thought I should just quit. And he was like, no, you're not quitting. There's still so much potential in you. And I know your ultimate goal, and I believe in you, and you can get there. And so still today we're friends. So to see that he responded to your post and how he's going to listen to this, Jeff, you know how much I love you. I'm so grateful for you. And he is a part of my gold medal skate. He is 1000% a part of that. He was a part of the journey. So he saw my darkest days. He saw me struggling hard.
And I think that says so much, you just sharing that, because everybody thinks, as you said, they see the glamour, they see the gold medal, they see the championships, and sometimes they just forget about what you may have gone through to get there. And even moving forward, like even in business now, I mean, it's got to be a little bit different now that you've always had, with David, when you skated, you had a partner, had a Jeff. Now you are as a kind of a solopreneur, your own business. How does that relate now?
Well, you know what? Speaking of relating, so it is really weird not to have someone's hand to hold, but it's different. So now what I focus on is surrounding myself again with people who light me up, people who believe in me when I'm struggling, believing in myself. And you know what? That list doesn't need to be big. I can have maybe 2, 3, 4 girlfriends or people that I call on when I go, I'm having a rough day, and they talk me out of it because they know that there's power inside of me. They know that this is just, we call it the stinking thinking, or like shit thinking, whatever. But like, we all get there because we feel like, the fear starts to take over. So we're all human. We're these spiritual beings having a human experience. And I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress still. But anyway, so I call it my mastermind group. They're my people. And, I also have a coach, someone that has way more experience than me in business and executive coaching. I'm working with another coach too on learning about the brain. So I just like surrounding myself with people who bring me up, instead of dragging you down. And dragging you down doesn't mean that they're putting you down. It means they're sitting around with you, gossiping and talking about people. And that's what I encourage my clients to do. And it's hard for people because they go, well, I'm going to have to get rid of my social network. And I'm like, it's not serving you, and you have to actually sit down and ask yourself, the people that you're you're connected with and you're surrounding yourself with, are they people that are helping you grow? Because we're either evolving or we're staying the same. And Eckhart Tolle talk about it's like dying. So you're evolving people who are helping you do that.
Oh no, I mean, and having us, not only having a supportive group around you, but a group that will be honest with you is also a key point. They just can't pamper to you and say yes, Jade, or yes, Jamie, or yes, sis. That's that. I mean, which is one of the reasons why I have this called telling it like it is. You need people to sit there and tell you, the truth, and then that's such a big part of moving yourself forward as a person or moving your business forward.
I agree with that. And so this is interesting. You say the truth. So I say to everybody, be careful when you say truths, because these are facts. Like if you come to me with a fact that I'm maybe not doing this right, or I'm not taking action, Jamie, you're not doing this. That's a fact. But the truth is I'm so much more capable, right? So I always tell everybody, be impeccable with your words. And I can be honest with you, but I'm going to say to you, Jade, the fact is right now, whatever it is, and then you're going to know, you know what? Yeah, that's true, because I know that I'm capable of so much more. And you pull it out of yourself. But it takes that person saying to you, like you say, honesty, and just saying, hey, this is the facts right now. Okay. That's how I feel anyway. And then I just tell everybody, be impeccable with your words, speak kindly to yourself. Do affirmations. Affirmations are powerful.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's something, and you know what? It might not be affirmations for you. It might be music for someone else. It might be sports. Having that me time, whatever that may be for somebody. You have to figure out what that is that will let you grow as a person. And I mean, for me, I enjoy swimming and I enjoy playing squash, where I put my phone away and it's time just to kind of let go, and that 45 minutes to an hour, it's like, all right, here we go. This is me. This is what I need during the day.
You also like going down water slides.
Well, Callaway Park is a good release too, right? The log ride, Timber Falls is awesome.
That's my favorite. You get a picture in your face, you're all like, ah.
Well, I know, and I had a presentation yesterday with the blockchain in Rainforest, Alberta, and they're like, "Oh, how long can you stay?" I'm like, "Well, I can't stay much longer after, because I'm going to Callaway Park."
I love it.
I know, I do love Callaway Park, so as long as our girls still love it, I'll keep going.
Right? Yeah.
I know. So I guess I wouldn't mind touching a little bit about your business, and I know we've had a little conversation about, I guess, in the past, you've always had such a powerful, whether it be Skate Canada and your brand itself has been there, your name. How have you been able to translate that into business? And have you had any problems, marketing or trying to do it yourself? Can you share some of your experiences with that transition?
Yeah, so different experience for me, because I'm fortunate that I have, that I'm known. So I haven't really done a lot of marketing. I like the should thing. I should or could do more. I love the balance that I have in my life, and this is my own personal story. I don't feel the need that I need to hustle and be working 50 hours a week. That's not what I want in my life. It's not part of my vision.
Yes.
I love what I do. I have incredible things that are happening, and I love learning. So part of what I'm doing is great that I can coach people. I'm working with Envision Group out of Calgary, and we do executive business coaching. I have other individual clients that I help with visioning and getting their life, on track the way they want it to be. But I'm also absorbing and I'm learning, and so I need that time too. So that's really important to me. That's what lights me up. And then of course I'm a mom, so I haven't struggled with all of that. I know that that doesn't relate to a lot of business people today because of COVID and the way that social media works and everything. There's a lot of hustle out there. Like, it's hard. But I haven't felt that I've had to necessarily do that.
And that's me. Well, no, and I mean, and it's, again, different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've sat down with businesses and they've talked, okay, well, we want to grow, we want to get bigger. And then when you actually sit down and have an honest conversation with them and saying, okay, tell me why you want to do this. And they're like, well, my friends, my wife, my family think. And then you're going, well, you know what? Bigger isn't always necessarily better. And if you're going to grow, that's going to take away from your work-life balance. It might take away a little bit from your family. It might not be as successful. Location 2 and 3 might drain location 1. So there's a lot of different things to think about. So it's good to hear you say that, because everybody has to have their own little, whether it be goals or vision, and work inside what works for them.
It sounds really glamorous to be bigger and more famous and to make more money. But you got to know, and I think that people that have experienced this, when they have money to be able to have the things that they would like to have, it doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be happy without that first. And
Yes.
so, and we've gone through this with our family. Like, I've had family members that think like, oh, everything must be so easy for you now. And like, they think my life is perfect. I'm like, so you think that money fixes all that, or fixes things that happen, challenges? And no, it does not. In some ways it can complicate your life, right? And everyone's looking at me going, what do you mean it complicates it? I go, it causes rifts. It causes all kinds of other things in families, but you have to be happy without it. And I always remind people, look at your vision. What would you love for your life? Because if in there you've got that you're traveling with your family, and you've got that you have a great work-life balance, home-life balance, and you're doing all these things with your kids. Because like for me, I had children to spend time with them and to be a part of their growth and their life. And so what does that look like? It definitely doesn't look like I'm working from 9 to 5, right? So
Yeah.
That's my decision. That's what I want. And I have in my vision how many hours a week I'm working. And those hours, are powerful hours. It's not necessarily that if it's 5 or it's 10 hours, it doesn't mean it's nothing. Those could be really 10 incredible hours in my week, right? So you got to decide for what you want. And like you said, Jade, it's having the business grow, and you think, making more money is going to make your wife happier. You're basically masking. You're masking some things that, we think we need things. Well, you got to be grateful for what you already got, right? So that's a whole nother story. We can do another talk on that one. But listen, we all would like money to be able to go on vacations and buy nice things. Everybody would like that. This goes back to being happy. Are you happy without it?
No, absolutely. I mean, it is, unfortunately, sometimes, as I said, bigger is not better. Bigger causes more problems. Bigger could mean, and bigger in business could mean more problems in your family because you're not at home. So, I mean, I tell people that, why don't you just work? You might have a lifestyle business. That's something's perfect for you. And, let's make it better. So maybe someone will be able to buy it off you when you're ready to retire. Or, you know what? It might just be that you've made your money and you've got your retirement set, and your door closes. And I mean, that should be nothing that you should be ashamed of if your kids don't want to take it over, or whatever the succession plan is. But there's always different ways to make sure that you're happy in your life. But in the end, it has to be about you and what you want and what's best for your family. So,
well, and whenever you're doing something, does it light you up? Because people, they want the Stanley Cup and they want the gold medal, but they don't want to go through the process to get there. That's the other thing, right? And they don't realize what it takes to get there. So if that's not going to light you up, the idea of pushing that boulder up the hill, then don't do it. Do what you love. Do what you love. And if it means keeping your business a little smaller, great, because you have happiness, and happiness is key. That is the biggest key for today. And I think right now with COVID going on, it's a really good time to sit back and assess and reevaluate your goals and your vision of what you would love in your life. Because Brene Brown said it best. She's like, if we think we're going back to normal, like, we're wrong, and right now she had it was a really great post, and I wish I memorized it almost because it's so good. But she just said normal never was. Like, it's greed, it's overconsumption, it's over this, it's too busy, it's blah, blah, it's more money, it's all greed. Like, she called it greed. More, right? Are we really truly happy people? Right? Yeah. So you sit back right now and go, maybe I am working too much. I need more. This time with my family's been a lot, but you know what? There's something to this. And I know I have felt that. Have you felt that being with your kids? Like, wow, there's times I want to wring their necks too, but
well, it's part of being a parent.
Right. But I've really enjoyed this family time, and I haven't had a hard time having them at home for most part, But anyway, reassess, reevaluate. This is the perfect time to do that, and do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life.
No, and I agree. I mean, I even like I know make a comment about your background behind you, right? I sit there and I mean, if I was in traffic, look around and I turn around and smile, and it would probably bring back a lot of good memories. And even though mine isn't as impressive as yours, I got things behind me that make me smile. Whether it be one of my Notre Dame jersey over here, and one of our daughter's two little things here, and a lava lamp. For some reason, I just like lava lamps. But the artwork behind me is thing that the girls painted, and my rider lid, because everyone needs to know I'm a rider fan. So again, little things like that you surround yourself with. That if you're having a tough day, you turn around and go, man, oh yeah, that's great. I remember why I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, and that's important, is what is your why? What's your mission statement? What's your purpose?
Well, absolutely. Well, speaking of why, I mean, I know, let's talk about what you want to do next in your business. Who do you want to work with? How do you want to grow, jamieslay.com?
Interesting. So, of course, I have a hard time deciding on not deciding, but they tell us that we have to pick an avatar clientele. And I always said, I want to work with people who are hungry to transform, people who really want to do the work, people who, like me, who, you may have had success in your life, but you find yourself going, well, now what? Or people that are really down in the gutter, like I was when Jeff picked me up. It doesn't matter where you come from, but people that want help, they actually want to do the work. They really want to get to where they're dreaming of, right? Or they maybe even don't even know their dreams. So they're so sick and tired of being sick and tired that they just want help, right? But I am going to be moving into, I really love to work with, and I didn't answer this yesterday, so I'm happy we're redoing this. I want to help athletes transition from sport. There really aren't, anyway, that I know of, there aren't programs for athletes. And in figure skating, I did not go through a program that transitioned me from sport to life. And people might not think much of that, because you go, oh, Jamie, you're an Olympic gold medalist, you made money, who cares, your life is great. I went from you think of it, you draw a box, and that box was my whole life. All of a sudden, that's gone. You have to replace that box with something, with a purpose. And I wasn't aware of it until 3 years later. I'm a mom again. I had my second child, and I was like, I'd wake up every day just feeling really crummy, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't have a vision. I was living my life by default instead of design. And I designed my life up until I had gotten remarried. And then I just thought, I'm going to sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. No. And you it doesn't mean you have to have a career, but maybe it's something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's a hobby, but I had no purpose. I was like just existing, as we say, right? So I want to help athletes go from that, like they leave that box, helping them transition to figure out how to replace that box. And it's not going to necessarily feel the same, but I give an example the other day of, I used to tell myself when I was going through this visioning process, I am never going to experience what I felt with him ever in my life. I will never experience that again on the ice. And then I went, as I was writing my vision out and I'm speaking internationally and I'm helping people around the world. Well, is that not the same thing? I'm on a stage, performing, helping, impacting people, empowering people. Do you see how I actually picked a vision? I'm passionate. I've been passionate since I was a kid with helping people. And now it's like, I've got these incredible tools. So let's help people. Let's use these and empower people. So it can be similar. I'm not going to go skating again, but I can definitely have that same feeling of pride and accomplishment. And not because I got a gold medal, but because I'm helping people. I'm empowering them. I'm inspiring them. I'm motivating them. I'm putting fire in their butts, whatever. Just like I'm grateful for Jeff today. Like if it wasn't for him, I would have quit.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I love to do.
And I think it's something that a lot of people can't relate to, right? Athletes transitioning, because I think you hit the nail on the head there when they think it's all glamour, but there's a lot behind the scenes, whether it be depression and mental anxiety and the pressure to absolutely I can't relate to training for 4 years, and every time I see someone, and you go to the Olympics, it doesn't matter what sport it is, swimming, anything, and all of a sudden they have a false start, and their 4 years is over in a matter of a second, and I feel such anguish. I'm just like, oh, my heart drops for these people. So a lot of us can't do that because we don't do that. Well, we go play a little hockey here or there, or baseball or squash, and okay, we're having a little bit of fun, but not on the level of the pressure. So I think that would be really good. I think a designed program that you could create to help some of these athletes coming out of whether it's the professional ranking or the amateur ranking, it would be priceless.
Well, I just think it's huge, because even take you or anybody that's in business, you've worked your whole life. Let's say you started working early 20s, and you've worked in your business for 20 years now, and all of a sudden it's just gone, and you're sitting there now. You're sitting there every day going, you're thinking it's going to be okay, because now you can sit back and smoke cigars and have some more beers that you used to. You can eat what you want, whatever. And then that gets old. And then all of a sudden you're looking in the mirror every day going, like, what am I doing? And there's an emptiness. And so I was used to a routine and an operating system, and all of a sudden that just wasn't there. And again, you can think that it sounds great, just like retirement. I always tell people, really, are you sure you want to retire? Because retirement from your job, maybe, but there can still be other things that you could do. And I've talked to my dad about this. I'm like, Dad, you need a purpose. Like, you're not 95, like where you're sleeping all day now or whatever. Like, you need things to do, because you have to feel that you have a purpose here. This is what we're made for this. Like, that's why we're here, right? So I really encourage people to, if you're going to retire, make sure that you have that hobby or that passion for something else. And it can be building things. It doesn't have to be what other people want you to do, but find something.
Well, I agree. I can't agree. I've seen too many people, even my grandpa, I think when they took him off the farm and moved him into Saskatoon, it was just like,
he lost his purpose.
It was just a matter of time, and he didn't last very long, unfortunately, right? Like he wanted to be there. It didn't matter if he would just see the guys come in from harvest or seeding or whatever it was, or you just driving the quad or the truck, just take them lunch. You just needed to be there, right? And I mean, I agree with you. So, I mean, unfortunately, I think
like Jade, his light was taken away.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Right. And I mean, that's like an athlete, right? I mean, all of a sudden it's like train. I have this plateau. And now,
And guess what? Nobody's applauding me here in this house. I'm not getting standing ovations for making an epic dinner, right?
Really? You don't? I do. I don't know what's going on there.
But people don't realize that. Like, I spent, 3/4 of my year performing in front of an audience, getting an applause and getting a really great paycheck. And then I come home to like poopy diapers and no applause and a mess everywhere and kids talking back. And you're like, wow, whew, okay, well, this is a different career.
No one's throwing flowers at you.
No one's throwing flowers at me. I don't get to sit in the kiss and cry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. No, what I mean, a great conversation, and this has been great. And I do have, my last question has always been the same, because I literally thought I would stop asking it after about 7 or 8 episodes, but the answers I get are so different and so awesome. So I just keep asking it. So Jamie, if you had one piece of advice for a small business entrepreneur or a startup, what would that be?
Well, I would say, what's your vision? You need, there are 3 things that I always talk about, and that is having a vision, because when we have these thoughts in our head, it's literally just a wish. Get it on paper. It becomes a plan. It's your roadmap. We need a blueprint to build a house. It's the same thing for our dream. So get that blueprint written out. And you might not know exactly what it looks like right now. That's okay. Just write down what you do know.
Yeah.
What lights you up? What do you love? Okay. The second thing is that you need to decide for it, and you got to decide for it over opposing circumstances and when it's not comfortable or when you don't feel like it. Okay. That's what successful people do. They decide for it every single day. And the third thing is overcoming fear, because, fear is going to be a constant companion in your life. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I still get nervous when I'm prepared for a speech. I get nervous because I'm excited. I want to do a good job. But I've learned to talk to that fear. So I always tell everybody, be ready for that, and don't let fear get you. You can have it without it having you. So, but know that all that garbage talk, that defeating, limited thinking, that's just fear. So vision, deciding for it, and overcoming fear.
No, I love that. Those are three great points, and I agree with you when it comes to fear. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Even yesterday, before I did that presentation, even though it was over Zoom, and I'm very prepared for it, I still get butterflies. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think those will ever go away from me, and it's just like, okay, well, that's good. That means I care.
Yeah, exactly. And fear can be as little as even saying, you know what, do it later when you have time. Just put it off, right? Because maybe it's an action step. You have this thought like, I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna write out my goals right now, and then all of a sudden you allow yourself to get distracted because this thought in your head goes, just do it later. You have too many things to get done. You got to do the dishes. You got to do the laundry, right? So your brain is all about survival, and it likes to avoid pain or being uncomfortable. And so that's one thing that I'm really aware of. So with any business people, I'm going to go get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just, you got to learn to talk to it. I always call it like the devil sitting on my shoulder. Like, you know what? I hear you. I'm not going to swear, but I hear you, but beat it. I use the other words.
Well, it's been dropped on this show before. I'm not going to lie.
So that's how I talk to it, and I do talk to it like that because for me it's like power. It's like, F off. I'm doing this anyway.
Exactly. No. Well, I can't thank you enough.
Say it like it is.
Exactly. I can't thank you enough, Jamie, for coming on, sharing your story, and I guess in the words of Brene Brown, as you like to say, make yourself vulnerable and tell people that telling it like it is. It's really something that it's important for people to hear all different types of stories, and yours is amazing, just like a lot of my guests. So thank you again for coming on and opening up.
Thank you for having me, Jade. That was so much fun.
It is, and take two worked. Woohoo! Take two was way better than take one. So the people that are watching, it's not like one didn't even matter. It was just a warm up.
There you go. See?
Exactly.
Just practice.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Jamie, have yourself a great day. Thank you again. And we will talk to everybody soon.
Take care.